Hello, I'm recording this the day after the announcement of the Queen's passing, and so if things are a little bit subdued today, you know the reason why. We'll carry on. Today's episode features two games in League Two, two important games at that. Welcome from the bottom to the top. Hello and welcome to episode 42 from the bottom to the top. My name's Mark, and on today's episode, as mentioned in the intro, we have two games for you, both in League Two. First of all, against Colchester away, and then Solihull Moors at home. Two important games in the scheme of things, mainly because I've started off by looking at the table today, which is a bit unusual, I know, but as you will see, we are top of the table. We have a game in hand over Colchester, who we play today, which is why we've come back so quick. 3-point gap currently. If we can win today, it will be a 6-point gap. Haven't allowed for one thing, have I? I haven't allowed for Bradford to actually win their game, and it won't be. They'll have 20 points. We'll have 25. It'll be a 5-point gap, but there or thereabouts. Depends on what Bradford City do. We'll have a look and see who they're playing in a minute. But in reality, it'll be 6 points on Colchester with the game in hand still to play. Of course, the same applies to Bradford. It might be 5 points, but still with the game in hand. Crawley Town could do similar, of course. Let's have a quick look and see who is playing today and who's playing right. Bradford City are away to Cheltenham, and Crawley Town, who are in 4th place. Do they not appear to be playing today? Or am I just being dim? No, it doesn't look like they are playing. That was the last round of games. They're playing tomorrow, that's why. They're playing on the Sunday game, and they're playing Barnet. So it won't become apparent right this minute, but it will do in due course. Right, Leighton Orient also have that game in hand, but we do have 6 points on them already. So, like I said, that's pretty much how it's looking currently. So it's really all down to today's game, and a win against Colchester would do us the world of good, regardless of what Bradford do, of course. Last time out, of course, that loss in the Pizza Trophy against Manchester City under-23s, but we did manage to overhaul Bristol Rovers by 2-0. 2 wins today would go down very, very well. Right, we're not going to mess around in the episode too much. We're going to get right into it and have the first game up of the episode. It is first playing second. We're meeting Colchester. And the team to face Colchester is Smith in goal, Robinson, Jones, Nelson and Doherty. Smith continues. Fryer on the bench for the moment. Smith in reasonable form, so he can stay there. Wilcock, Kaji and Brunt in midfield. Dixon playing in front of them, and McBride and Russ continue as the attacking force. McBride better chosen as a pressing forward as opposed to an advance forward. On the bench, Fryer, Lembigsa, Shepherd making a rare appearance. He's been they've been complaining because he hasn't getting any game time, so he's on the bench today. Holmes, Fernandez, Harlock and Nolan. That's how it looks. Holmes is unhappy, wants to start more games. Does he really? Okay. You join us as we get underway here at the JobServe Community Stadium in Colchester. Early days, not a lot happening in the first 10 minutes or so. And first highlight, Nelson's already picked up a yellow card. Playing in our light blue today, which is a bit strange, seeing as they're also playing in blue, but a dark blue. That one over the top, and Edmondson is onto it, and it's just gone wide. I'm not sure whether Smith had that covered or not. I'm glad we didn't find out, to be fair. And a free kick crossed in. It's a headed goal from Nelson. Ronnie Nelson, an assist from Luke Robinson. And with 27 minutes on the clock, it's 1-0. And a highlight from kickoff, which is always a bit concerning. As you know, my concerns are they come back and hit us straight away. Let's hope not. Edmondson in again. Tries to curl it. But it was too far off target to curl, as it turned out. Robinson with a throw-in to McBride. Willock back to Robinson. Robinson crosses it in, but it's cut out by the defence, and Edmondson is causing us all sorts of problems. I need to check in a minute to see whether we've got an opposition block on him, because he seems to be doing a lot of manoeuvring the ball around. He seems to be their go-to player as it stands at the minute. Need to be winning this ball back off them as the ball goes back to George. That one's over the top again, but this time's cut out by Jones. But Holdsgrove is in this time, and it's gone through Smith. This will teach me to talk up the goalkeeper, who's in form. And yeah, that's very disappointing. Jones actually winning it. Didn't get it to... get it to Nelson, and then Holsgrove is on it. Straight through the arms of the goalkeeper. That's a mistake by Smith. Very disappointing. Right, I'm not quite sure why we haven't got a track on Edmondson, but we will do from now on. Obviously, my assistant manager, who usually puts these in, hasn't picked him up. Formation. Working to its full benefit. In this first half. And Colchester have been the side that have been sort of competing behind us. And we remain those 3 points in front of them, albeit we do still have a game in hand, but a win would be rather helpful, should I say. Let's hope for a better second half. And as you rejoin us, we didn't look at the stats at half time, but they had something like 12-2, and we had 6-1 or something daft like that. So not had the best of the game so far. Looks like we've got a free kick. McBride with the free kick. Swings it in. Goalkeeper had to push that away. That was on target and would have been a good goal. Robinson with the corner. Swings it deep. Not meeting its intended target. And it's headed into touch on the far side. They have a corner now. Newby with the corner. It's headed back in, but over the top. 70 minutes arrive, and as I say, they're putting a lot of pressure on us and have the better of the game at the minute, and it's time to be looking for some changes, I think. Lewis Doherty is tired. Lembixa will come on for him. Who else hasn't been performing in this thing? Dixon really could do with picking it stuff up. Let's just change it to an enganche just to see what happens. Hopefully it won't do us any harm as we try and get back into this game. Right, we're going to point a finger. And he's motivated. So Lambixa comes on for Doherty, who was tired on the back right-hand side there. Russ and McBride swapped over. And they have a corner. And it's headed over the top. We head down to 18 minutes. Still nothing doing. And Josh Dixon is tired. And shall we bring on Nolan for him? That's not the best change to make. Maybe Brunt moving forward into Dixon's slot. And we'll have him as the advanced playmaker on attack. And then Dixon, Josh Dixon, will swap him for Gerard Harlock. Russell McBride not doing the business today. Is this the opportunity for Brad Holmes to stake a claim? Maybe. I can't see any other way of doing it. So do we bring on Brad Holmes for Will Russ? And what we'll do is we'll actually change one to an advance forward. And McBride will leave as a pressing forward on attack. And I think possibly we will go attacking as well. See if we can get this game. Pump fists. No, point finger. Make me proud. Brad Holmes is still nervous. We try and go after this goal. We have a corner. Robinson swung in deep, but it's a penalty. A penalty pushing in the area, and it's McBride with the penalty. He's put it away, and we could win this by default, really. We've not been in it, but we have won it, or may have won it by virtue of that penalty as we head down into injury time. And Colchester, I think, will be very upset by that result. We have won the game, but they had 19 shots, 4 on target, 1.53 on XG, and we did beat them on the XG and possession in the end. We had 11 shots, 5 on target, near enough 50%. So I suppose we weren't a million miles away. Not at our best, but at the same point, not at our worst. And really, the goal that they scored, Jackson Smith, should have stopped going in. It went straight through his arms. What was he doing? So as we look at the results and the table, we are top, 6 points clear of Colchester now and Bradford City. Both have played a game more than us. Crawley Town, of course, play in the Sunday match. So that could just shorten it a little bit, because if they win, it will they will be on 21 points. That will bring it down to 4 points. But we would have that game in hand. Bradford City drawing 0-0 with Cheltenham, which was the other game that was really the one that we keeping one eye on. So at the minute, a 6 point lead. We'll have to wait and see how Crawley Town do in their Sunday game, and whether that lead is narrowed a little bit. What we'll do for a second is just pause and see if we can get that result out, so that we get a full perspective on what's happening. And Crawley Town have beaten Barnet by a single goal to nil, and that means that they are tucked in behind us 4 points below us. But we do have that game in hand. And if we were to win the game in hand, we would have a 7-point lead over Crawley Town as it currently stands. So that's how the table looks going into our next game. We have played Crawley Town, of course, a little while back and beat them 3-1. Couple of things to mention going into the Solihull Moors game. They are setting up the same formation as us, which could be rather interesting, playing with a target forward and an advanced forward. As I say, they're playing pretty much the same formation. The other thing that was worth mentioning is the headline that came out of our last match against Colchester, and it says Farsley fortunate to beat Colchester. I think they're probably right. Also, Ronnie Nelson's yellow card in that game also means that Ronnie Nelson will miss the next game. I think he's only 1 game ban. We'll just double check. Where are we? It's here somewhere. Here we go. Ronnie Nelson, yellow card limit, a 1 match ban after collecting 5 yellow cards. So he will miss the game against Solihull Moors. Right. With that, Solihull Moors is that next game up. Previous meetings we don't have, again, haven't actually met them before, but we are at home. But it should be quite interesting as they are set up very similar to ourselves. And this is the team to play in the second game of the episode against Solihull Moors. It's Fryer back in goal, Robinson, Jones, Fernandez and Doherty. Fryer back in there basically because of the misdemeanour of Smith in the last game. So Willock, Harlock and Brunt are playing across our central midfield, albeit their roles have changed slightly. Dixon in front of them, McBride and Russ on the attacking front. McBride at this time as the target forward and Russ as the pressing forward. Smith, Lembiksa, Shepherd, Cannon, Godsmart, Ford, Kaji and Holmes are all on the bench. And we're underway. And Farsley playing in green. Solihull Moors playing in their yellow tops, blue shorts. Jones back to Fryer. Fernandez coming out. And pass it to Brunt. Brunt to Doherty. Russ back to Doherty. Brunt in midfield, looking for Russ on the run, but didn't quite get there. Goalkeeper making a hasty clearance, and only as far as Robinson. We're through. Dixon into the area. Russ has got it in. His 9th goal of the season, and it's all good. 5 minutes on the clock. Might even be 4 minutes. I'm not quite sure how the clock had ticked over. We'll see it again. It may be 4 minutes. Robinson through to McBride. McBride to Dixon. Dixon crosses it into the box and Russ gets it in the back of the net. 4 minutes on the clock. And we go a goal in front. Long way to go though. Fryer from the back again. Fernandez. As we come forward, Doherty launched it for Russ. Couldn't get underneath it. Harlock brings it down though to Dixon. Harlock. Back to Fryer. Fryer goes out wide for Robinson. Robinson inside to Willock. Robinson. McBride. Robinson. Ball forward again to... Not sure who that was for, but didn't get that. And we've tidied it up again in defence and midfield. Brunt. Doherty. Russ moving it around nicely. Doherty goes out looking for McBride, the target man. Dixon back to McBride. And he gets his 9th of the season as well. He's keeping tabs on Will Russ. And both have a goal after 9 minutes. Will Russ has 56 goals in his Farsley career, and he's closing in on the record held by Spencer at 57. Needs one more to equal it, and two more to actually win it. Jones back to Fryer, who clears the ball nicely to Russ. Harlock all the way back to Fryer. Fryer comes out wide to Robinson. Jones, Harlock, Dixon, Willock, McBride. Inside Dixon, winning that ball. Lovely ball through. Russ is there. Oh, he's put it wide. But he thought that was his 56th goal. Sorry, 57th goal. The equaliser, equalising the record set by Jimmy Spencer. But he missed the target. Not by much, but he did miss it. Long with the goal kick. This one's long and it's gone over the top. And Harlock is beaten. And Fryer has missed it. And Joe Sabrara has got one back for Solihull Moors. And we've had 3 goals in 12 minutes. Harlock missing that in midfield. And we're missing Nelson, who would have dealt with that. Fryer, I can put it down as a little bit of a mistake from Fryer. Disappointing that they get a nose back in, because we have been the dominant side so far. And they have a throw in. Sullivan throws it in. And they're through again. Manages to cut that out. I think it was Luke Robinson cutting that out, but they still come away with the ball. And that one's through. Robinson is in. Fryer clears it. There's a little bit of indecision there at the back. They've got another chance here. And that ball's deflected, I think. And it was deflected nicely to Dixon, who's on a bit of an overlap here. He's crossed it into the box. Russ has hit the post as he tried to squeeze it in between the goalkeeper and the post. It's got the post. Dixon, lovely ball in, run it along the ground. Russ, and it was cleared upfield. And comes to nothing. Solihull Moors, it's come off the crossbar. We've struck a bit of luck there. Willock doing well to win the ball, but clears it upfield to nobody. Dixon going out wide, and nobody there as they try and build from the back again. Not commanding this game, and Shabra is through again, this time not on target. Definitely causing us problems as the first half comes to an end. It's 2-1, all 3 goals in the first 12 minutes of that first half. And, well, what can we say other than we are just sort of hanging on. 16 shots, 4 on target, 2.83 on the XG, 59% possession against their 9 shots, 3 on target, 1.26, 41% possession. We really just need to up a gear in the second half and maybe get another goal to make sure that this one is put to bed. As you come back, no changes at half time. 2 personnel anyway. A few tweaks to formations as we go past the hour mark. And down to 70 minutes. We'll have a throw in. Doherty with the throw in. They've had a few changes, so we'll do the necessary. Brunt back to Doherty. Brunt, Harlock crosses it deep, and it's a headed goal by Will Russ, who's now equalled Jimmy Spencer's 57 goals for Farsley, and Russ getting the second of his second of the game, our third, and puts that 2-goal cushion back in place. Said that that's what we wanted at half time. That's what we've got. Lovely ball right onto his head, and he managed to climb above the defender. Right, another good reason to have a look and make a few changes then. Let's just sort the opposition thing out first, because they have brought on a couple of players. Just keep them at bay. Really giving me any instructions as such. And I've come out of there before I've made our changes. So Mitchell Lawson is in. He's crossed it deep, and it's cleared up field. McBride, Willock, Robinson fires that one forward. Not sure who he was looking for, but it didn't find the right person. Goes out wide to Sullivan. Robinson out there keeping him at bay. It's crossed in and missed. Oof. Who was that? That was Doherty, got in the way of that shot and diverted away. It looked like it was going in. It was driven hard. Nothing come from the corner. Right, now is our opportunity to do those changes. Zach Brunt is tired. And it looks like Dylan Kadji is going to come on for him. And what we might do is we might swap Kadji and Dixon around in that slot. Fernandez having a better game now. Lewis Doherty is tired, and it looks like Lembeeks are going to come on for him. Having said that, he did do that splendid block there. Right, we're just going to do the two for the minute. Don't like to tempt an injury. Jones is tired at the back there. That could well be a change as we go down into 80 minutes or so. Lembeeksa with a throw in to Russ. Lembeeksa. Kadji. Oh. And he was way off a target with that. That was disappointing, really. Lembeeksa, lovely through ball. Kadji just completely misfired. And as we're about to do another change, Robinson with a throw in. Harlock to Willock. McBride, Kadji. Russ. Dixon, who's had a great game. Lembeeksa through to Dixon. Dixon now back to Lembeeksa. That's a poor pass. Lembeeksa having to go back to get it. Harlock, Willock, McBride, Kadji, McBride to Russ. Russ gets his hat-trick and has beaten the record set by Jimmy Spencer. It is 4-1, and I think we can conclude that we have won this game fairly and squarely now, as we take a 3-goal lead. Lovely interplay. Russ, question of whether he's offside there, I think. Are we going to get the review? Yeah, here we go. Is he offside? Ooh, there's not much in it. I think he's got away with that, to be fair. We have VAR and all the rest of it. I think might have missed that one. Right, final change then. We've got lots of tired legs, but I'm thinking it's really defensive that we need to shore up. Nico Jones is the tired one, and it looks like Godsmart Ford will come on for him. I might swap these two over. Go out and make a difference, and that being our final change as we come back. They've got a ball across. Sullivan, Jones heads it out. Might be Jones's last action, or maybe not. And that's gone out for a corner. Not sure who that was blocked. It's either McBride or Robinson doing the defending there. Comes to nothing. Godsmart Ford comes on for Jones. They have a corner. Glendon. It's in. It's headed clear by Godsmart Ford. And Russ comes to pick this up. Hat-trick boy. As he comes forward and really run out of steam and gave the ball away pretty much. Godsmart Ford under this one. Lembeeksa to Dixon. Lembeeksa Crosses it into space for Russ. He's on to 4 here, and he's got his 4th. 12th goal of the season. 4 on the day. He's now well in advance of Jimmy Spencer, and 5-1. And the scoreline does flatter us a little bit, I think, given that we were struggling at half-time, really. But having done a few tweaks, it's had the desired effect. And half-time, sorry, not half-time, but full-time does come. And the final score, 5-1, 26 shots, 11 of which are on target. Much better second half, 4.12, 57% possession again. It's their 18, 5 on target, 1.90. They didn't play badly, but we just had the edge on them. Okay, how does the table look after that one? Well, I'm not sure we can see all the results because Crawley Town has certainly played, but we are 7 points clear of them now. Colchester have dropped down, and as we look at it, you can't see Colchester or Crawley Town in these results from today, so something's amiss somewhere. But Colchester, as I say, have dropped down to 19th place now. Maybe Colchester didn't play because we did have a game in hand over them. So maybe that's... or did we have a game in hand over Crawley Town as well? I think we did, actually. So actually Crawley Town and Colchester not played. But as it turns out, we have won, theoretically, the game in hand. And it has taken us 7 points clear of Crawley Town, 8 points clear of Leyton Orient in 3rd. And that's the promotion places. And then 9 points clear of Colchester, who are in 4th at the end of that particular run. Right, as it is, we're going to go and have the draw for the first round of the FA Cup. And we have a look at the draw for the FA Cup first round, which is coming up. Let's go through the draw. Rochdale will play Portsmouth, Wrexham, Exeter City, Sutton United will play Bromley, Hampton and Richmond will play Cambridge United, Derby County will play Wickham, Oldham will play Northampton, Chorley or Braintree will play Harrogate Town, Newport County will play Barnet, Bristol Rovers will play Stevenage, Chester will play Dorking, Rotherham will play Kidderminster Harriers, Maidstone United will play Plymouth, Salford will play Farsley. So we'll be playing Salford of League One in the FA Cup away from home. A lot of other teams being drawn out there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you back to Future Mark. Right? I'm not quite sure. I'm recording this and it's going at the end of the video. So I'm going to pass you back, and Mark will have a look at how that affects the schedule with regards to future episodes. Thank you. And yes, Salford are our opponents in the FA Cup first round away from home. That will be at their stadium, which is the Peninsula Stadium. And we will come back for that in our next episode. We are going to do Morecambe Tranmere on Oldham offline. We're going to then come back for Grimsby Town in League 2 as we head into November, and then the FA Cup first round against Salford, and we'll see if we can progress in that competition or not. League 1 opposition, so it's going to be a bit of a toughie, but who knows? But we'll see how we do as we get down there. We have won 9 games straight in the league, and we're doing okay. A couple more clean sheets wouldn't go amiss, but that's the next episode, and it will be coming up very, very soon. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of this and our other 2 series, To Be a Legend and Making Tottenham Hotspurs Again. New series of FM23, which has been announced now, and we'll be looking in one of the other episodes. We'll be looking a little bit more about the sort of things that we might do in FM23. New episodes are from the bottom to the top, currently released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. And that's what you need to do because, as I said at the start of this episode, I am recording it the day after the death of Queen Elizabeth II. And dependent on the announcement of the funeral, it will then, obviously we won't have an episode on whichever day that funeral is. So everything will get pushed around a little bit, and it depends on what day it is or which episode and how we can move it around. So please, that's the schedule at the moment. It will get changed, and I will promote it out on Twitter and let you know what's happening. So please follow me on Twitter. That will keep you up to date with all that's going on. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 43. At the moment, it's due out on Monday. Until then, goodbye.